Hey y'all, how you doing? My name's Lauren. This is going to be my first plan with me. I'm starting from the month of August 2021. Now, I used to be a planner, like a pen and paper planner, a couple years ago, but then life happened and I just went away with that and switched to digital. Well, recently my life has gotten really hectic. Got the new baby coming along, stuff is moving with work, and I just decided that I really need to go back to what I consider my roots and get everything down on pen and paper, because I need to have somewhere where I can just go at a moment's notice and find what I need to find. So I hope that you enjoy this journey with me as I try some new things, some old things, and try to make this system work for me. Okay, so to get started, I just want to give you a quick overview on the planner that I'm currently working with. Now, I did used to use Happy Planner and Recollections from Michaels, but I found that I was taking planners and ideas from other systems and kind of Mod Podging them all together. So with this one, I really just decided to start from scratch. This is not a particular planner system from anyone. I've just done this all my own, collected resources from various people, or just made the pages. Now, I am using an ARC system hardcover. This is the leather bound purple, and it is the disc rings, so that I can, insert pages as I go or take them out. So that's what I'm starting with. And here on the first page, this is just some paper that I got on sale from Hobby Lobby one day. And I've started with the yearly overview so I can have my calendar, and then I go straight into the months. Now, because I'm starting in August, I didn't want to go with the full end of the year. And that's because I don't know if this is going to work for me. Again, this is just trial and error. So we start in August, and this is what I'm going to start doing, is working with the full month layout to start. And I actually got this printable from Bobby Printables. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them, but they have some really great free printables, and I didn't want to make a calendar, and they had a really great simple one, so that's what we're going with. As we move past the calendar, then we look at the weekly at a glance. I made this myself. If you guys want a copy of it, I am toying around with the idea of making an Etsy shop. Just tell me if that's something that you're interested in, and I can go ahead and try it. But what I like is having a mini schedule, just so that I can put down my schedule, know what events I have. And then in the top, I like to have an area for notes and tasks. So this area is primarily going to be for, like I said, notes, tasks, to-dos, and then the schedule here at the bottom. And shorter days for Saturday and Sunday, because as we all know, not a lot happens on the weekend, at least not for me and my family. And then a small section for notes. After we go into the weekly overview, then I do have the weekly meal plan for that same week. I actually use this in conjunction with a few other pages that I'm going to show later on, but this is just so that everything is connected. And then at the end of the week, I'm going to try is the key word here. I'm going to try to do this weekly reflection where it has a few questions about how did your week go, new things that you learned, habits to build, goals. And again, this one in particular is from Bobby Printables. This one, the meal plan, I just made that one myself. So we have those pages for the full month of August. I just printed out 4 weeks worth. And at the end of it, we get into my budget. Now, the budget, I'm not going to go over it in depth here. I'm just going to kind of show you the pages that I have and that I've created. I do everything by the half payment system. So all of my payments are spread out equally from paycheck 1 and paycheck 2, because I do get paid twice a month. But I did create this because I needed something to track that also my husband can come in and look and see what's going on. So I have my monthly budget that I'm going to go over in a separate video. where it's for the particular month. The income, again, it's 2 pay periods, so I do have those 2 columns here. Then my various expenses, any extras, my goals, and then my notes and closing balance. This is just a monthly overview for my budget. Here's where I start to get more in depth with all of my expenses. This is strictly a bill tracker so that I know how much I've budgeted for each bill, when it's supposed to come out, who it's going to, and then I can put in the amount here and then subtotal them out and then check and see what the differences are. And then for any extra expenses that are not bills, then I will track them here on this expense tracker. The monthly overview, as well as the bill tracker, I created, and then this one is from Bobby Printables. The next section is one that I'm going to be creating a whole series on, and that is my debt journey. Now, I'm not going to show you or go over all of this quite yet because I do have a separate video planned for this. But I am using from the debt-free charts this debt tris page. This is going to calculate my total debt. This includes credit cards, student loans, cars, and anything else that we might have. All of that is going to be totaled here. So it's going to take a while to get through all of this, but I just needed something that I can see and feel that I'm making progress. As we go through here, it's going to be tracking each individual debt. These pages, again, from debt-free charts, the coloring pages, I'm going to be using for credit cards, specifically the I paid off ones, and then this debt payoff sheet where I have the date, the balance, how much I paid, and then how much I paid in interest, and then the remaining balance. These all I created. So we do have quite a few credit cards, so let me just get through this really quickly. And then we do have our van loan, and then our new SUV loan. I did have a Toyota Camry, but with the new baby coming along and 2 kids already, we needed more space. So we got the SUV. The van is actually my husband's work vehicle. So we didn't have enough space with that one. So I'm going to be tracking how we're going to pay off those. And I am a millennial. And of course, you know, we were all told that we needed to go to college and get an education. So I do have some student loans, and I'm going to be using these Game of Loans trackers from debt-free charts to track those 3. I do have a small savings tracker. This one is from Bobby Printables. And I am going to be trying a $1,000 emergency fund challenge. Now, I do have a small savings already, but that is already earmarked for my delivery in October, and it is outside of my emergency fund. So this one I'm going to try to fill up prior to baby coming. Then I do have some scrap paper in here. This is just some free dot paper because I do prefer dot paper for notes versus grid or lined paper. These extra notes are from the ARC system, and this is if I'm kind of trying to figure out what I'm wanting to do as far as a project, or if I have an idea. I really use this for trying to map out and mind map what I'm going to be doing. And then I do have some to-do lists also from the ARC system. Going towards the end, remember I talked about that meal tracker. Let me just find a page real quick. For my weekly meals, this I use in conjunction with this page. This is my food inventory, and I'm going to be going more in depth into it as I do my actual plan with me in a couple minutes. But I use this food inventory in conjunction with a grocery list, as well as an all out of pages that I've created so that I know exactly what I have on hand, what I need to get, and then place it all on the grocery list for me to take with me to the store. So that is just a quick and dirty overview of the planning system that I'm going to be using. So let me just get set up real quick so that we can start planning. Okay, so first we're going to start with the monthly overview. I've gone ahead and opened it up to that page, and these are the pens that I'm going to be using. For August, I've decided that This is going to be my main highlighting color from Tombow, and it is number 158, kind of a sage green. Green is my favorite color. I was really disappointed that I couldn't get this cover in green, but purple's fine. So this is going to be my main like kind of accent color. I do also use a gray, just a regular Crayola Super Tips for highlighting. I don't like a lot of highlighter colors unless I'm using them for accent colors. So gray's a real, neutral color for me to use. For standard writing, of course, I'll be using black. And then for birthdays, I'll be using purple to highlight those. And then for events and holidays, I'm going to be using black as well. For calculating my, because I am documenting my pregnancy in this as well, I'm going to be using gold just to document how many weeks pregnant I am. For payday, green. Bills, red, money going out. And then for my YouTube video schedule, I'm going to be using this blue color. So I'm going to actually start by writing down the colors that I'm using. So to start, I'm going to write down 158 for the accent here in my notes section, just as a little legend. Okay. And then my Crayola highlight. There isn't a color number or name for this, so that's why I didn't add it. For my pregnancy weeks, this is in gold. Oh. And because it's a gel pen, of course it sometimes goes out. Okay. Holidays and events. In black. Birthdays in a very cheerful purple. Payday in green. This is a very bright green, kind of like a shamrocky green. Our lovely bills in red. I can just see those at a glance. And then my YouTube videos. I'm going to try my hardest to maintain this schedule for the YouTube videos that I'm going to be putting in. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put in my schedule. And I'm actually going to start with inserting my how many weeks pregnant I am. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but I do try to run on a Monday to Sunday schedule, and that's because it's just easier for me mentally. I've always seen Sunday as kind of my get crap together for the next week coming up time. So Monday is really whenever I truly start. So all of my pages are from that Monday schedule. So starting with the first Saturday in August, which is the 7th, that is where my weeks start for my pregnancy, and I will actually be 30 weeks pregnant here. So I'm going to put 30 weeks here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and go down 30. Guys, this is coming up super fast. I honestly can't believe that I'm already at this point. Oh, my dog is whining because the cat wants to play. 33 weeks. Okay. And next I'm going to do the easy part of scheduling my paydays. I get paid, like I said, twice a month, and that is on the 15th and the end of the month. Now, if these dates land on a weekend, then I do get paid the Friday before. So the 15th does land on a Sunday, so I'm actually going to put my payday here on the 13th. So to track this, I'm just going to put some money signs. And then on the 31st, it is a Tuesday. So that also gets some money signs. Great. Next, I do have a few appointments coming up. I did switch to the 2-week schedule for my pregnancy now. Oh goodness, I have to go to the doctor so much. So my first one is on the 5th. So I'm gonna put that right here. So I'm gonna put doctor's appointment. I'm not gonna put the time just because I'll save that for my actual schedule whenever I get in there. And then I do have an ultrasound scheduled here. I'm gonna regret not, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take this out. That might be easier. I do have an ultrasound scheduled on the 19th, and then I have a follow-up to that ultrasound on the 20th. Doctor's appointment. That looks much nicer than that first one. Okay. Other events that we have are on Sundays. We do have baseball for our son. Okay, so we do have it on the 1st. So I will put baseball here. And we have games every single Sunday. And the last one will be on the 22nd. Guys, I don't know if y'all have ever played baseball in Houston. That's actually where I'm from. But it is hot, especially in August. Now I decided I'm actually gonna highlight my doctor's appointments and my ultrasound just because I want to call a little bit more attention to those. Okay, that's starting to look good. All right, so now I have, oh, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my bill tracker and set that aside for a moment. First, I'm going to do birthdays. Let me do birthdays first because we have a lot of birthdays in August, and they start right here on the 16th with my birthday. So that is going to be my 32nd birthday. So I'm just going to put L's 32nd B-Day. Okay. And then it's our son's 11th birthday. So I'm going to say Goose, his 11th B-Day. I call my son Goose, and our daughter is Ducky. I have to figure out a bird name for the new baby coming. So if you guys have any suggestions for that, then just let me know and we'll see. On the 30th, it is my cousin Victoria's birthday. So I'm gonna put that here. She is also 32. And she is also pregnant. Victoria and I have always been 2 weeks apart, you know, because that's how we were born. And we've done everything together. We've done our quinceañeras together. We went to school together. So we graduated together, went to prom together. A lot of our life events kind of synced up by accident, not on purpose, very much by accident. And then also on the 31st is my husband's birthday. So I'm gonna put right here. So John's. Oh, he's not 30. This is his 51st birthday. Okay, so that's birthdays done. And then one of the events that I do need to put in is we are having a birthday party for Goose. So I'm gonna put that right here. So Goose party. And then right here on the 28th, that's when I'm gonna have my baby shower. So that's there. Let's go ahead and start with the YouTube videos that I'm planning. I am, like I said, I'm gonna try my hardest. Please wish me luck on this for my YouTube videos. So on Wednesdays, I am trying to do my what's for dinners, where I'm just showcasing a meal that my family ate. So this is going to be a YouTube what's for dinner, and again, trying that every Wednesday. Normally I would like to use stickers to showcase some of this stuff, but I recently got rid of all of my stickers because I did, like I said, I was not using paper planners anymore, so they were kind of just taking up space, and so I gave them to a dear friend of mine who uses them on the daily, so I'm glad she can use those. All right, so we have that. This video is actually going to be a plan with me right here. That's when it's going to be posted. You guys will see it on the day. This is a, oops, plan with me. All right, and then on Monday, the 9th, that's actually when I'm going to be posting on YouTube about my debt-free journey. I am not debt-free yet, but I am starting that along with my husband. And I'm going to be going over more in depth some of the pages that you saw and actually going over the numbers of what we owe. So that's going to be that on the 9th. On the 16th, I'm going to be posting a budget part 1. And then following that up on the 30th with a, oops, with a budget part 2. Part of me actually doing this and not doing any of the stickers as well is me trying to see if I can actually maintain the system, and then eventually, if I have money, I will be rewarding myself with certain things. So a lot of the stuff here, you know, I had the paper, I already had these things from previous planners, I already had this. I didn't buy anything new for this planner because I am starting that debt-free journey. So forgive me if it's not always pretty or things of that nature. So, all right. And then I know I'm missing a few. Oh, yes. And then I am going to have a series on Fridays for YouTube, and this is going to be a baby registry. So I did sign up for a few free registries, and I did get some of those boxes. I'm going to be posting them here. And for this one, I believe I'm starting with Target and then going into Bye Bye Baby, Amazon, and then ending it with Walmart. Cool. Do I have any more? Oh yes, I do have a few more. My last ones for the YouTube updates, they are going to be a pregnancy update, and I'm doing that after my doctor's appointment. So there will be one on the Saturday the 7th. So if y'all are interested in any of that, come back. And then also on Saturday the 21st. Do you like my little acronym here? PU for a pregnancy update. I thought it was cute. All right, so I think that's all for the YouTube. And now we can get into the nitty gritty of the bills. Lovely. All right. So for my bills, I do have rent due on the 1st, of course. So I'm just going to put that right here at the bottom, rent. My cell phone is also due here. So this is through AT&T. I'm not going to put the amounts here. I just wanted to have this as a reminder, like, oh yeah, you have something coming out. USAA car insurance comes out on the 2nd. USAA is another one of those bills that I've done the half payment method with. They do have the ability to split payments, which is nice because I don't have to do it manually. So USAA comes out on the 2nd. Netflix comes out on the 3rd. Guys, you guys are gonna see some of these bills and you're gonna wonder, like, how do you do it? How do you not go crazy? Citibank comes out on the 5th. I have a lot of bills coming out on the 5th actually. So we have Citibank. This is a credit card I'm trying to pay off. Hulu. I have so many streaming services. I wish I could get away from cable, but we are diehard Astros fans and they just don't show anywhere else unless you have Xfinity. So that's why we have streaming as well as cable. And then we also have Comerica coming out on that 5th. That Comerica is also another credit card. Now, speaking of our Xfinity, that comes out on the 8th. Xfinity is one of the ones that I do manually do a split payment. So I will make half the payment at the beginning of the month and half the payment at the end of the month. Technically it's flipped. The end of the month is the first payment that I make and then it's due on the beginning of the month. So I know that can get kind of confusing. My Xfinity, Wells Fargo, this one is going to be just starting in August because we just did get that new vehicle. So this is that car note. I was sad to see my Camry go, but like I said, guys, we did need all the space that we could get. And then we have iTunes on the 15th. So we don't have a lot of bills due at the beginning of the month. I know it looks like a lot, but we don't. All of our bills, really smaller ones, they all come out towards the end of the month, which you would think that with the way that it's separated, everything would mean that we, with all these bills, that we would have more money left in the beginning of the month and less on the end. But it was actually flipped. Our bigger bills were due at the beginning of the month and then we had small ones coming out at the end. And that's why I had to switch to the half payment method. So I'm going to start with those. I do have an Adobe subscription. So that comes out on the 16th. On the 17th, we do have some student loans coming out. I do still pay on my student loans. Some of them, they are in deferment because of COVID, and I'm actually using that money towards my debt at the moment. And it's just only added a year onto it. And I did the accelerated program, so it's not like I'm coming out behind. We have Home Depot coming out. We do have a Home Depot credit card because my husband maintains his own business, so that is a business expense. Gas comes out on the 18th. Let's see, where was I? West Elm. I do have a West Elm card. I'm trying to pay it off. I got West Elm because when my husband and I moved in, we did have more money and I was paying stuff off quickly, and I like West Elm. This furniture is going to last me forever, and it's real wood. That was my main thing. And then Xfinity, the second Xfinity payment. Xfinity. On the 20th, I also have a lot of bills coming out. Some of these are auto drafted, some of these I have to do manually. So we have the second Comerica one. This one is, I did initiate. They don't allow split payments, so I actually initiate half the payment to come from an auto draft from my bank account, and then the other one they auto pay from theirs. So this is another Comerica. The other half of Wells Fargo. USAA. This is what I mean, guys, of like having to split everything, because if I didn't, then it would seem like we have a lot of money at the end of the month, but then whenever I get to the first of the month, it's like it's all gone. So that's why I did it this way. Wells Fargo, USAA, Nelnet. This is a student loan that is not in deferment that I still pay on. Ooh, it's the 20th. Look at all that red, guys. And WCA. This one is for our van loan. WCA is for our trash. Trash. 21st, we only have Disney coming out. We have kids. Of course we have Disney. Disney Plus. We have the kids' insurance coming out on the 22nd. We do pay that to their mom. We are a blended family over here, guys. We have electricity on the 23rd. Who's that through? That's through Reliant. We also have Synchrony. This is for our mattress. Now, another reason why we did have to put so much money on cards is that my husband and I live in my husband's old house, which it did flood during Hurricane Harvey. I don't know if any of you guys remember Hurricane Harvey, but it hit Houston and devastated. And unfortunately, our house is one of the ones that did flood. We weren't together at the time, but that meant that when we moved in together, whenever we met, after we met and then moved in together, that we had to replace an entirely new house. You know, we had to get new furniture, and part of that new furniture is, well, mattress. Let's see, 24 is Best Buy. There's no real excuse for the Best Buy one. I did have my own separate Best Buy card, but I did pay that off. So luckily we don't have that one anymore. And then the last two, on the 28th, we do have water to our mud district because we are technically outside of the city limits. And then he does have his old credit card that we are currently paying off with Chase. Okay, so I believe that is it for this. Now what I'm going to do is just look over it one more time. I think that's it. All right, I'm going to highlight baseball. This is the last game. I'm gonna highlight Nico's birthday party and my baby shower. All right, guys, so this is my month. Okay, seems a little daunting, especially with all those bills. It's a lot of red on here, but there's some good in between. You know, I'm really happy that I can see, you know, right at first glance, and it's shining at me literally, you know, how many weeks pregnant I am. And then that I am going for the ultrasounds. Now, I am going on my ultrasound ahead of schedule. Normally you are scheduled to go to, or at least with my doctor, go and have an ultrasound when you're about 35, 36 weeks, you know, just for the growth scan. But during my anatomy scan way back when, this little guy was measuring about a week and a half, so pretty accelerated growth. So they want to check him a little bit early, so right before my 32 weeks. So fingers crossed, guys, that I don't have a big baby. All right, so now we're gonna get into the weekly, and I can actually start this. Now remember, I'm starting from the Monday, so that's gonna be the 2nd. I'm actually gonna take this out. And I'm just gonna first start putting in my numbers. So that's gonna be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Now I just wanna get started by putting this in, like putting in my schedule to start. Now, one of the things that I do is I try to separate my work tasks versus my home tasks. So for this thing, work is going to be in blue. So I'll put that legend here. And then home, because it's my favorite color, is going to be in green. And anything that is important will be in red. Okay, and then everything else just in black. This is stuff like reminders or thoughts. Okay. So I can start off by putting some work notes in here. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do go into the office. So I'm gonna put that here. Can you guys still see that? I can't see. Okay. All right, so I am gonna be, not Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm sorry. Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I am gonna be in the office here and here. And I'm going to start off by putting that with my schedule. I do maintain a shorter schedule when I am in the office, just because my area of town sucks and I don't want to be sitting in traffic, and I can dictate that. So that's one of the perks of starting your own business, is that you get to decide. Now, that doesn't mean that I stop working. It just means that I only am in the office during these few hours, then I come home and I finish more work. And on Wednesdays, it is a shorter day because that is usually our trading day with the kids. So I only stay a couple of hours just to get caught up with things and get caught up with people. Oh, that's actually what I missed. First day of school, right here on the 18th. Oops. Yeah, for a while we thought that the first day of school was actually going to be on Goose's birthday, but luckily it wasn't. It was on the 18th. Okay. All right, so let me go back to there. All right, so I just blocked out the times that I'm going to be actually in the office. And then I don't know if there are any new specific schedules that I have to maintain. I do know that I do have some work tasks that I do on Tuesdays. So these are just processes that I have. So I have billing to do. I do some accounting tasks. I have billing to do. I work in the insurance field, so we do deal with commissions. I'm going to go ahead and put in my what's for dinner for home. For a dinner post. Oh, guys, I'm like forgetting letters. Did any of y'all notice that whenever you were pregnant that you just forgot letters and words? Yeah. Okay. Those are the main things that I go. Now, I will on Monday look at my schedule more in depth to try to put in my meetings and things of that nature. But as of right now, I just like to put in the things that are quick reminders. Okay, so this next part I've actually gone ahead and pre-filled. I did it in conjunction with my food inventory system and then made my grocery list based on it. So what I tried to do with this is I scanned the food inventory system to see what we had on hand as far as, meat wise. And then I compared that to what we had in previous weeks and tried to make a meal plan out of that and use as much stuff in our fridge and pantry as possible. Luckily, we don't have our kids this week. They are on vacation. And so I can really stick to kind of like a shelf cooking challenge, trying to use as much stuff in our fridge and pantry as possible. And, don't have to buy a lot. So what I did was on Monday for dinner, I am going to make a pork ramen stir fry using the one of the boneless pork chops. We only need one whenever it's a ramen stir fry because it has a lot of veggies in here. And then I listed the stuff that I'm going to need for that. Then on Tuesday, we're going to have some bruschetta. I do have some fresh bread that needs to be used before it goes bad. I have standard, sandwich bread, but I really like fresh bread for making my own croutons for salad or garlic bread, stuff like that. We're going to eat it with some eggs, sweet Italian sausage, and then the stuff for the bruschetta, tomatoes, garlic, basil, balsamic, all that. On Wednesday, we just got some everything bagel seasoning, and I don't know if you guys know this, but it's phenomenal. It is absolutely delicious. My husband and I have been trying so many different things to put it on, and we now want to try it on some chicken. So we're going to put that on some chicken thighs, and No, we do have other pastas and rice available, but he's really been wanting to try some orzo. So I put that on the list in red that I need to buy to go with the orzo. And then we don't have a lot of vegetables. We're kind of running low on. So I did add some green beans there. On Thursday, I didn't really want to use anything from the standard food inventory, but we do have some bacon that we need to utilize. So I'm just going to make a quick spaghetti carbonara. Friday, I don't like to always use meat in my meals, and tostadas is one of those things where I don't need meat. I don't know if you guys have ever had tostadas, but I do have a video on it to show you how I make them. But all I need from that is the tostada shells, because we do have beans, cheese, and lettuce available. On Saturday, I'm going to make sweet and sour pork. My husband loves all Asian food, and anytime that I can make some sort of like Chinese dish, then he is all about it. So I'm going to be using one of the other pork chops for that, as well as adding some rice and broccoli. Now, fun fact, we don't actually have any sweet and sour sauce, but I do have some packets of sweet and sour sauce from Panda Express, as well as from other Chinese restaurants that we've been to over the past couple of months. So I'm going to be using that. And then the last one is I have some jambalaya mix from Zatarain's that we have not used, and I've been seeing it in the pantry over the past like month and a half and knowing I need to make it. So I'm actually going to make it on Sunday. So that's that. And after I created that, then I went ahead to the food inventory and updated some of the totals. And these stars over here are items that I think that I'm going to need to refill, you know, prior to my next grocery haul, either this week coming up or whenever the kids get back. I know we will need milk definitely, and at some point we will need some chicken thighs and some chicken breast, but to start I do know we need some milk. So I went ahead and created a really quick grocery list based off of that, knowing that I need the orzo and knowing that I need the green beans to put those on, the tostadas, and then milk and bread, because as you see, we only have a third of a gallon left and it actually expires on the 2nd. So we need some milk and then our regular sandwich bread. Put that right here. What I'm going to do with this grocery list is I will actually do some price checking on the stores that I frequent. Being that we are in Texas, I frequent HEB a lot, and then right next door we actually have a Walmart, the neighborhood market, not the super center, but the neighborhood market, which I love for grocery shopping a lot more because it seems more like it is just a grocery store. So I'll end up price checking those as well as a few other stores that we have local to us, and then putting that location as well as the price so I know exactly how much I'm spending. Everything from the grocery list does come out of our cash envelopes that we use for that. So we use the cash envelopes for groceries, household expenses, gas, and any other miscellaneous. So that will come out of this budget, which is why I try to price check and make sure that I'm getting the biggest bang for my buck. I'm not able to do the weekly reflection. This is kind of daunting to me. I'm kind of nervous about it. So check back in with me during my next one, I would guess for September. Yeah, September, to see how I did with this. I'm not going to be doing the budget yet. That will be for a separate video, as well as the debt tracking. That will also be for a separate video. So for right now, this is where I'm at. I've already put in all of my days. And this is going to be my month of August. So guys, wish me luck. I hope that this really helps me with my memory, because that seems to have gone out the window, and also gives my husband somewhat of a reference, because I will be leaving this out on the table so that he can see it and check it whenever he needs to. But hopefully it gets us on track, and so that we know everything that's going on, that we know when the bills are coming out, we are reminded by all of the appointments, and hopefully it gets me some of my sanity back and I'm not feeling like I'm scrambling for everything. So if you really liked this video and it is something that you want to see in the future, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like, because I don't know. I haven't met you guys. Excuse me. And I would love to hear your input as far as planner systems, any suggestions or tips or ideas. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you later.